Hi everyone, welcome to Season 2 of Death Defined with Matt Quoker. As a funeral director and dealing with death every day, I think it's really important that we open up the topics surrounding death and dying. So this is the forum where we get to meet everyday people and learn about their lives and their experiences surrounding the taboo subject of death. So let's go inside before I get too wet and start the day. So today something's really special because I've got two of the most important people in my life with me today, and that is my daughter Katerina, who is how old?
4.
And then I've got my son Nathaniel, who is
8.
Now, I want to thank you both for coming here today because, you know, what do you think I do for a job?
You're a funeral director?
I'm a funeral director. Okay, Katerina, do you agree with that?
Yeah.
What do you think Daddy does as a funeral director? What sort of work do I do? Do you know?
Yes.
What?
You do lots of hard works.
I do lots of hard work. That's good. And what do you think I do now?
I think you help people go to heaven.
I help people go to heaven, right? And have you been to many of my works? Like,
I think I've been to a few.
right. So,
Yeah, I've been to a few too.
and have you seen much about what Dad does? So, what do you think? So, have you been to my mortuary or?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what do I do there? Do you know?
You kind of help them get ready for the funeral.
Good. That's good. Yeah, you're pretty switched on. And
And you sometimes you go to some families.
houses? Yeah, we do, don't we? And sometimes, and do you think it's pretty special what I do?
Yeah.
Yeah. And have you ever seen anyone that Daddy's worked on?
Yes. Yeah.
And do they scare you or they look good?
They look good.
And because people who are on their way to heaven can't hurt you, can they?
No.
No.
Only the living can.
Only the living. That's a very good point, son. So the thing is, with me and work, I think I'm very lucky that I've got two kids that are just so relaxed about what Dad does, and you understand what I do. So do you think we talk about a lot of death in our family a lot of the time, like with Nonna and Mum and?
Yeah, sometimes because you're busy quite a while.
Quick question, kids. What do you think happens to us or to a person when they die? So you go first, Nate.
I think that they kind of go to heaven, and you kind of get put in a coffin, or you decide to get buried.
Well, they don't, but their family helps. Or they could before they die.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, and Katerina, what do you think happens when you die?
She's dead already. You help them.
That's it.
You help them, get in the box, stuff like that.
I help them get in the box. But do you think that, like with the family that are left behind, it's very sad, isn't it? Do you think it's very sad? Because I know sometimes, Nate, you know, you've said to me that you've gotten upset when you said, you know, you get sad when you thought of Mum or me,
Yeah.
or someone dying. Why do you think that is? Is it
Because when someone dies, you can't see them again.
right? Okay, and that makes you sad.
Yeah.
What about you, Kitty?
Oh, she wouldn't care.
She won't care. So tell me, with Dad's work, do you look at who else in the family works with Dad?
Nana.
Yeah, Nana works. Auntie Eleanor.
Well, I never knew Auntie Eleanor's related to you.
Well, Auntie Eleanor's sad, but she's been in the family since I was a baby, so we still call her Auntie Eleanor. But there's Nana, Auntie Eleanor's Uncle Pete. But we're all pretty close, aren't we? And there's Rebecca and everyone like that. And when you see them, when you come into Dad's office and everyone's busy working, what do you think goes on? Have you?
They're working really hard, and they're trying to get the system correct.
And help the families.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Have you ever spoken about death or anything to your friends, or is it only something that we talk about, or?
I think it's only something that we talk about because you don't really think about death when you're not you don't really think about death when you're not with your family.
And if Dad didn't do what he did, you know, you probably wouldn't know what death is, right?
Yeah.
Right. And Katerina, you don't really think about death much, do you, or do you?
When people die, they have
when they're spirits, like they help them go to like the cemeteries and
They
stuff.
go to the cemetery, they become a spirit, do they? Oh, that's pretty cool. And spirits can't hurt us, can they?
No.
No, okay. So with us talking about death now, right, and about what Dad does, how does that make you feel, Katerina? Does it make you feel alright or what?
It makes me feel alright.
And what about you, Nate? How does it make you feel?
It's kind of sad to think about people going like passing out,
Yeah,
passing away.
Yeah.
But then it's also kind of good because they're going to God, and then I kind of learn about what happens.
You've never been to a funeral. Have you ever been to a funeral?
No.
No.
Yeah, but you've seen Dad's cars and stuff, haven't you?
Yeah, I have gone to, I think, our great grandmother's coffin.
The vault.
Yeah.
So you've been seeing Nonna, great-grand Nonna. Yes. So the day that we interred Nonna at the cemetery is the day that Mum and I sat back and Mum said, let's start a family. We went, right, let's go and do it. So that was pretty cool. So that's why Nonna, for one death, there was one life that we started. And you're just the lucky last. That's what you are. Even though we talk all the time and I explain things and make you watch CNN when you're in trouble,
Yeah.
is there any questions you have for me? I'll start with Katerina first. Do you have any questions for Dad?
Yeah.
What's your question?
When people die, they have their spirits to go there, but they don't turn into a spirit. Like their spirits like inside their bodies.
Right.
So they don't hurt us.
So yeah, that's right. So you want to know what? So when someone dies, the spirit's always in us, right? The spirit's always in us, so then it goes wherever it goes. So that's a great mystery, Katerina. But there's something else out there. I've seen a lot of things that, I don't know what it is, but there's something else out there after we go. But good question. What about you, son?
What made you think of being a funeral director?
Don't know. I used to do...
So God just randomly created you.
He did. God turned around and went, no. What it was with me, I did the flowers for the funeral homes. And then when one of the owners got sick, I came on and started running it. And then I was fortunate enough to be in the position to buy it many years ago. And that's why with you and your sister, when I take you to work, I don't hide anything from you because that was like me. I saw death when I was very young and it never scared me.
What does somebody that's dead, what do they feel like to touch?
Well, they're cold because you have to keep them refrigerated, but they just feel normal. But like, if you feel my hand, because my hand's warm and your hand's warm, it's like on a cold day. When you have it's a really cold day and you get your hand and you put it on against your face, that's what it feels like.
Okay.
So that's what they feel like to touch.
What is the best part about your job?
The best part about my job is that every day is different. I get to meet some amazing people. And you have too. You've got to meet some people that I've worked with, families when I've gone to people's houses and stuff.
How do you show respect to the dead people you work with?
How do I show respect? Well, basically, every person that I take into care,
Daddy, when will it be my turn?
Oh, your turn. Okay, hang on. We'll just answer this one question first. So, how I show respect is the fact that I treat every person that comes in, and my staff treat every person that comes into our care like they're one of our own family. That's why I have family work for us. You know what I mean? So we treat everyone with respect like they're our own family.
Isn't that your slogan? We treat your family like
Our
you're
old slogan
family?
many years ago was our family caring for yours.
Yeah.
But now it's changed. So, Katerina, do you have a question for me?
Why do you take us to work then?
I take you to work sometimes with me because when I was little and your age, I used to go to work to the funeral homes, because that was across the road from my dad's. And I think for you to be exposed to what Dad does helps you process things a bit better, in my belief, when you're a bit older, about death and dying, because the dead can't hurt you, can they? And what did you say about the man that Daddy was working on last Saturday? When he was on the table, you said he looked like who? Poppy. Did he look like Poppy? But he was about 25 years older than Poppy, isn't he? But he looked good, didn't he? And what did he look like? He was asleep, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked good. Yeah.
And you guys made him look better.
We did.
You made him smile and...
You can do all things like that, which is really important. Because sometimes people don't get to say goodbye to someone and they look the best. So that's why it's up to Dad and Leanne or whoever we have to try to make them look the best that we can so they can say goodbye. And that's what we did with Nonna before. Your Nonna, Mum, everyone, they all came to the chapel and we all viewed, because your great Nonna, she was a big Italian grandmother, big Nonna. She loved her food. and Daddy had to prepare her. It was great fun. And kids, I just want to thank you for being here, and I really appreciate you sharing your thoughts with me. And guess what?
Mm.
I love you.
I love you too, Daddy.
I love you, good man.
I
Hold
love
that.
you too.
Good boy. All right, thanks, buddy. All right, so he's going to have some chocolate now.
Yay.
Auntie Tiz has got your food. Don't bang your head on the table. Wow, you know, it's pretty amazing. You know you've done something right as a parent when you can sit a four-year-old and 8-year-old in front of the camera and they're so relaxed. So I'm really proud of my kids for that. We recently conducted a survey and over 40% of participants thought that childhood was the right age to start discussing death with children. And you know what, I tend to agree. Every time they've been at my work and they've asked a question, I've answered it honestly. And I've explained it as best as I can in terms that they can understand. I think it's, and for me, for them to sit so comfortably in front of the camera and talk about that at their age is pretty amazing. So, you know, I tend to agree with that survey result. You're involved in a process that is helping a family say goodbye to someone they love, and no matter who we have in our care, it's someone's mother, father, son, daughter, sister, brother. So they were loved. So we've got to treat them as one of our own.